I'm early. Look at that. Oh, man. Creaky chairs creaking. All that good stuff is going on. Oh, we got to focus. So, what's the chat going to be tonight? We got AgTech45 on here saying hi to everyone. I was saying that was at 8:23. What's up, Kentucky Tech? How are you? Nice to have you in the chat. Justin, great to have you in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Kentucky Tech saying hi to Justin, AgTech. XFL, 5 people in the chat, rolling on in. Everybody's saying hi. XFL saying hi. Sup, A. Murray. What are we going to talk about tonight, gentlemen? What are we going to talk about tonight? I'm not sure. I don't even know. I just hopped on. What a week. What a week I've had. Oh, my gosh. Good Lord. Some of you may or may not know on the on Instagram, I posted some pictures of pulling tractor I've been working on. I got that brakes done. Got them done. It took Friday. I think I put the tires on at 4 or something. And holy cow. Holy cow. Hey, Murray's in the house. Don, how you doing? Hope the porch light. Well, you probably don't need the porch light on yet. But I know you'll turn it on. Oh, boy. What's going on there? Let's get this phone out of my pocket. Oh, now it's 9 o'clock. I bet you here in another 10, 15 minutes, everybody will start rolling in, but it's all good. What I work on this week? Well, I worked on a case wheel loader transmission earlier in the week. And then let's see, what else? I worked on a stump grinder the one night. Took some video on the way out there, but really didn't get a chance to do much with it. It poured rain. Then I worked on that pulling tractor for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, getting them brakes done. That was a lot of fabrication work. That's the truth. It was all custom. But I tell you what, those calipers were freaking gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie. Them calipers those calipers were freaking gorgeous from Engler. I mean, they were just the precision of the machine work was awesome. The only thing I didn't like was the tolerances they gave me, but I'll touch on that later. I touched on it a little bit in the video, but not really. Good evening, Country Mile Garage. Had a nice video shop tour the other day. I watched something else too. I seen you had a tool haul coming up. Those are always fun. I got to do one. Roadrunner M. Nice to have you in the chat. Hey, Heavy Wrench. I just bought a 35K crane for my truck. House pieces. Did you make a post part 1 meet part 2 on Facebook? Was that you? I may have just seen it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Ed T, what's going on? How are you? Nice to have you in the chat as well. Oh yeah. Yeah, they'd look at that thing and be like, yeah, no. Plus, yeah, the tires weren't the issue putting it on. The brakes were the issue putting on. XFL, I got some pretty good video of the brackets I had to make and build. I made the template, took it to a guy that actually has a plasma table, and he did the drawing from the template and then programmed it in the plasma table and actually cut them out. So it was pretty awesome. I put an engine controller on a Gale Zoom Boom today. with a Deere engine, and it had a used controller on it. Awesome. I bet you that was two DTAC calls plus 4 or 5 hours worth of stuff to do. Kentucky Tech, what's up, man? Jermile, how's it going? Things going with you? Hello, Nick. How are you? How's the weather in the middle of Michigan doing? Diesel Tech 73, how are you? Great to chat with you again. No hail, man. It was a beautiful day. Yesterday it poured rain for maybe a half hour, something like that, 20 minutes. Prefab. Wrong, William. Okay. I didn't know I was you know what I mean? It was one of those things that that kicks up on there, and it's like, whatever. It is what it is. So, hello, party people. What's going on, Kentucky Tech? Nick Hildebrittle, how are you? Hey, Tech going well. Nathan Hale, good evening. How are you? So, anyway, 16 people in the chat tonight. It was a beautiful day here. It was a beautiful day here. Yep. Sounds good. I just got a text message here. I got to respond to this real quick here. Let's see. Here we go. Smash that like button. Bearded Mechanic. I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you been? What's going on? Anything new? Smash the like button. 2 hours south of me got 3.5 inches. What? 3.5 inches? Was it over the night or was it over the like now? Plasma table is nice. Used to own one. It's amazing. Yeah, that's what, like, I was looking at the rotors on that pulling tractor. You could make those. You can make the top hats. You can make the lugs, like the wheel centers. You can make all sorts of that stuff. He's making derby parts with precision, you know. I mean, it's a nice setup. I got to look into seeing what – there's so much you could do with it. Like I told him, I said, man, if I get a bucket with the side smashed in or something on like a, let's say a 35 to a 50 excavator, he's got a 4 foot by 4 foot table. That's he wants to get the 4x8, but he's got a 4 foot by 4 foot. So a small bucket like that, he could make the side with a radius that would be no worries. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter if you cut them out with a torch or whatever too, if you trace the template. But man, if you made up a template for a side of a bucket or the bottom or the, you know, you could really do some work with that thing. I think the ears, just putting ears on an excavator bucket would be phenomenal to have that. If you could do like a 1-inch plate, oh man, I don't know how it would work, but if you could do that, you could really make some serious cash if you could get it close. Baseball size hail. Jesus. That's insane. Yeah. Breaking windows and stuff, putting holes in houses and stuff. I don't know. Yeah. That's crazy. Nothing new, bro. It's been a while. Definitely going through some. Good. Well, I'm glad you're good now. I mean, nobody likes that going through anything really. It's hopefully it all works out for you. Rain came down a couple hours, 3/4 of an inch. That'd be nice. You know. So hope everyone's doing. Thanks, Occupant. I appreciate that. I was actually going to have you on one night. Maybe tonight would be a good night to have Occupant on. If you're willing, shoot me your email at theheavywrench@gmail.com. Maybe I might be able to give you a link there. Get some guests on tonight. I Phil, AgTech, and everyone else. 4x8 is nice, but go for a 5x8. It's way nicer for big sheets. Cutting a 1-inch plate, you need a big cutter. I know that's the thing, you know, like how big do you go? When do you stop? Where do you stop, right? Like it's no different than anything else. I'm Mike Jones. Let's see here. Plasma tank. Yeah. I know, but that's the thing, you know, if you can get, I don't know which way I'm going to go yet, you know, like with that, it just seems like it's on a, I think here's what happened, Country Mile Garage. It just ended up on my bucket list of things I want to own someday. Just put it out there like that. You know, the biggest thing would be is to find somebody that could run it, because I ain't going to have time to run it. You know what I mean? So if this other guy is, he did nice work though. I really liked his brackets. Tons of destruction. Jesus. It's horrible. I'm getting a good rain now south of Fort Wayne. Right on, Andy. It's nice to have you in the chat. Everybody's still saying hi. 21 people in the chat, which is awesome. Let's see here. Let's check over here on this real quick. Do a little this. See what we got going on here. Nothing there yet. Well, we are good. Let's see. So for some of those of you that were in here last week, I still haven't made a decision on Texa, Jaltis, any of that stuff. But I definitely think it's a good it's definitely a, what was I talking? Oh, it's definitely going to go in that direction. I just don't know when yet. Like that's the thing. I know I'm getting a laptop eventually here. That's on the things I need to have. Plasma tables on the want to have, right? So we gotta. I'm trying to distinguish that out and trying to keep the cash flow coming in, and making sure that this is an affordable purchase and it's the right time to do it. That's really what being independent really boils down to is trying to figure out when's the right time to make those major purchases. You know, like service truck was a major purchase for me. The diesel laptop will be a major purchase for me. These are all major purchases that are going to definitely affect business, the way it works, and the mechanics behind it. Because right now, you know, I'm doing a lot of mechanical repairs. I'd like to get more on the technical side, and I came from technical side of it, you know, so that's the tough part is I don't want to take too much of a break from the technical side to where I lose some of that fluency with the technical knowledge of it. So it's one of those things I need to push myself a little bit to force me to keep into the technical aspect of it, of emissions, regens, you name it. Controller, logic, all that stuff needs to be keep yourself involved in it. Otherwise, you're going to lose touch on it, and then the next time you get one, you're going to be like, "Duh," you know. I don't know if any of you guys have checked out Tech's Talking Shop yet, but Kentucky Tech just did a really nice video for them, for that group of guys and gals, I guess. But yeah, he'd be perfect at running the plasma table. The only problem would be is making the drawings on the computer. The cameraman can make the drawings. The old-time welder can set up the table and run it. Now we're talking. Looks like I got him already set up to do it. Tonight or next week. But yeah, absolutely, man. We just need to get in touch and set up a time and stuff, and we can do that. 1 4x seal. Don't want to guess. Yeah, I don't want to guess the cost either. But either way, you know, I mean, that's something that if somebody does have something where you have to build something custom, it's you're going to somewhere and you're going to pay a premium price for that sheet of steel. You know, whatever. My wife was doing the drawing and computer stuff. I just throw the sheet on the table and press start. It was real easy. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Diabolical? How are you? I haven't checked on. I have not been on YouTube all week. It's crazy. Bill Beckett, how are you? Nice to have you in the chat as usual. Occupant, Bill, Nick, Mr. Jones, good to see you guys. Diabolical, hello, Bill. Everybody's saying hi. 14 likes, 0. Give it a thumbs up if you want to. Don't feel like you have to. I do like that. I like saying that about the merchandise and stuff. It's there if you want it. Don't feel like you have to. It's kind of one of those things I don't want to push anybody to do that. Technical. Oh boy. Look out. Technical. Hey, XFL. Hello, 2 and Kentucky 58. 2. Kentucky 58. Was there Kentucky 58? Oh. Hi, Bill Beckett. Purchased new plasma that was not expensive. Yeah, the plasma cutters themselves, I think you can, or not. You can get better. It's all what you want, Mike. I don't know how expensive they really are. I haven't never even looked into them. I know we have one. It's a smaller one. I think it does up to 3/8. But you know what I'm saying. Kentucky Technical. Joshua, how are you? I'm going to have you on in a couple weeks because I think there'll be something exciting. Uh-oh. You guys got to hold on. I need to go get my charger. I got to plug in. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. I got to plug in my computer. It's going to die. Hold on, I got to plug it in. Oh, don't worry, I'm back. Whoa. Everything moved. Awesome sauce. Everything moved. Phenomenal. All right. Now we're back. Sorry about that. And we are plugged in. Okay, we are good to go. So, Joshua, I do want to have you on in a couple weeks for a special thing, for sure. Bill Beck is saying hi to Josh. Just get Plasma Tail. Just get the 990 XFL. I'm not going to get triggered. I'm not going to get triggered by the Harbor Freight comments there. Anyway, country. Yeah. Hey, Josh. Hello, fellas. Diesel Dude, Kentucky. How are you? Nice to have you in the chat. Hello, Josh. Andrew Miller. Good evening. How are you? Nice to have you in the chat. Kentucky Tech is bringing out the big words. A customer in my shop was telling me that his new Cat 305.5 will not be ready until September. What? September. His new... Oh, you mean it won't be in until September? Merch link in the bio. Shameless plug. Come on, Kentucky Tech. I was just saying it was something I... Are you supposed to pronounce the K in Knipex? I believe you are. So that is the proper way. I don't know. If I say Knipex, y'all know what I'm talking about. If I say Knipex, you kind of got that, huh? But you know what I'm talking about. If I say Knipex, you kind of know what I'm talking about. If I say, what's the other one? I don't even know. I don't know. The worst part is it's a, it's a German tool. And how do you say it over there? I bet you PAX isn't even the right last. I don't even know. We'd have to ask somebody that knows German. Maybe Mike Jones would know how to say it. Tomorrow morning, for the proper pronunciation of a German word of Knipex, we'll follow on Mike Jones' live stream at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning on Sundays. Catch that, and maybe we'll find out the proper way to say Knipex or Knipex. We'll talk junk about Phil while he's gone. Awesome. New Hypertherm 85 is 2,500. Table about 3/4. 3/4. Yeah, I was about to. Sup, Paul Randall? How are you? You were here when I was gone. I will for sure, Josh. I will be getting a hold of you on Instagram, and we'll be talking. How are you doing, Joey? Don said it was like 110 in Arizona, and I bet you Joey's probably somewhere hot too. That is a thick cut. Yeah, if you're talking bucket ears, though, and like if you could do that, you could build thumbs. You could build your own thumbs, your own gussets, your own brackets, your own, like, you could do so much welding work just for equipment that I think you could almost keep busy. Who knows? That might be a really good path, My 4 and 2-year-old sons. Oh, awesome. Having a late birthday party is not too bad. Kids always enjoy their birthday parties, it's pretty phenomenal. It's pretty wild. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy my birthday at all. I am horrible. My wife gets after me all the time about it, and she says I'm horrible because it's I don't like getting gifts. I don't like getting gifts. Like, that's not me. At Christmas time, she's like, "You're such a dread. Nobody ever knows what to get you because there's nothing." Because I don't know what I want. I don't know. What I want is always on a tool truck or something like that. Like, it's not really something you can go from there. Plenty of loader hookups by hand with it. Yes. Yep. It'd be nice for the repeatability, though, on a table. If you could get it for those hooks for the quick couplers, so where they come over the buckets to modify stuff like that. That'd be awesome. No, man, I haven't had any luck on deciding. I am going to get one from Diesel Laptops, I believe. I've kind of got that ironed out in my head, that they're the value that's worth it. But I don't know yet. There's some other options that came along after that, and I'm not sure which way I want to go with those yet. It's one of those things, right? Like, but I think Jaltist and Texa, I think Jaltist right now is looking better to me than Texa. From what I've been talking to a few people and this, that, and the other thing, I think that Jaltist is kind of edging it out. but we will see what I decide. And I'm probably going to try to do see what they say. I have not reached out to them. I didn't have time to do squat this week, to tell you the truth. I've haven't really watched one. It's like the cane and knife. Gotcha. Mike says the K is silent. So, and he knows some German, I believe. But just pronounce it the way it's spelled in English. It's not your fault they didn't translate it right. Yeah, that's right. Kinepex with a K in German. Rudy, I just bought the Snap-on new battery load tester. What do you guys think about the is that the one that actually loads the battery, or is that the diagnostic one, Rudy? What happened our morning? Dude, it's been nuts. I'm not gonna lie. We need to keep in contact for our morning conference calls, Paul. I've been slacking on that one too. For sure. But you've been working on that heavy shabby, and I mean, we're doing whatever. Good evening, my signature BRCC coffee. You already know. Oh, I love that. I love that. Good evening. How are you? Tools and metals. Maybe I'll celebrate one of my birthdays with you. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Mr. Darian. Jeff Hurley, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. I always don't buy me anything. I always tell people don't buy me anything. That way I don't have to buy you anything. Yeah, that's kind of a good way to look at it too. As you already know. What's up, D? What's up, Egg? Country, I understand that. Hey, Diesel Dude, Kentucky. Hello, Renegade. How are you? Hey, Renegade. What's up, Kentucky Tech? Andrew Miller, it's hot. Lots of sweat. Yeah. When I was welding those brackets the other day, it was like horrible. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Egg Tech. I appreciate that. Yeah, those parts. We'll talk about those parts for sure. Everybody's saying hi in here, Nick. I was back putting little ones to bed. Oh, that's a good time. Good time. Load tested the battery. It was in the Father's Day special. Snap-on box. I don't see the flyer here. Oh, well. No worries. Renegades, did you get any sleep? Got some deals at an auction today. Really? You gonna do a video on that stuff or what? Wait, you got a plasma cutter. Nice try. But even if you don't get any presents, you'll still for sure. The funny part is like the people in this chat, when we say that stuff, we probably actually mean it, and there's gonna be no hard feelings if you don't get me something, right? Like I'm like, no, whatever. Like, spend a little extra on your niece or nephew. Don't feel like you got to get me anything. You know what I mean? Like, make somebody else's day happy. Kids, Christmas is all about kids. Birthday, don't. It's not worth it. Give me some. What are you gonna give me? I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Actually, Josh, you don't have it all yet. There's still some stuff on the way. I was checking tracking today, and next week you're supposed to be getting the rest, or this week you're supposed to be getting the rest of it. That one thing in particular shipped first. I don't know. So I will yeah. But there's other things on the way. So for free, that's awesome, Amory. I seen that and I was like, bam, score. That was a sweet score, man. Sweet score for sure. No, not everyone is, Jeff, but I think we are. I think we are for sure. Stephen Doolittle, how are you? Great to have you in the chat as always. I've seen people make plasma cutter tables themselves from kits. Yeah, Exfel, that's what this guy did. It was a kit, and he put it together himself. And to tell you the truth, the only thing that I can kind of even say is that he had some buildup on the table. It looked like from not having water in it. He said it started leaking, lost the water or whatever, and it kind of instead of the plate sitting flat, it sits up a little bit. So the one edge is kind of on a slight. It's not a perfectly square angle, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the edges, just the edges. Probably on the thin stuff where he does artwork and stuff like that, you'll never tell. But the half inch, you could see just a little bit of pitch on it. But I mean, we're talking a minute with a grinder and it was perfectly to the shape. So it was that. But the cutting edge, what was weird is the cutting edge held true on the measurement. It was the backside that was left a little big. So it wasn't like it was a huge deal. The way he set it up on the table was perfect. So it was awesome. I don't know if he wants to be on YouTube or not with his company. It's not really, so I just left his name. It's just a local guy. I got a video up on the editing today. I tried to do some this morning. And it was definitely, I don't understand what that is right there, but let's see. Oh, they're live. Somebody went live, just like me. Terrence, I love watching your channel. This is second career. Been a cat intern for 10 months now. Really? That's awesome, Terrence. Yeah, if you've been an intern for 10 months, you're getting right after it, I'm sure. They're probably putting you right to work. You working on certified rebuilds, undercarriage? What are you doing? That's usually where they put the interns and newer guys type of thing. Oh boy, we're gonna get choppy now. The internet's something happened to the internet. It's the signal slowed down. I don't know if it's at 9:30 at night when it starts to slow down, but it seems like it has spurts for some reason. I have no idea what the deal is there. Bill Beckett, hey. Doing good, Renegade. Hi, Steven. Renegade. Garage, hey. Hey, Steven. Let's see here. Hey, Jeff, unfortunately, I won't be able to text anyone until Thursday night because I'm going to a campsite. Oh, that's awesome, man. Going camping? That's pretty much awesome. Nick, it's pretty awesome, man. Kit plasma cutting tables aren't the best. A good table costs about $18 to $25. Whoa! Yeah. Is that with the plasma cutter or just the table? That's awesome, man. You're on the rebuild. That's awesome, Terrence. See, that's a great place to be so you can actually get into what is what you're, in the future. That'll help you out a lot to learn the internal components. Then at least when it clicks in your mind of what's going on, you can say, hey, this is like this because I know, you know what I'm saying? Like you can relate things. So that's awesome. 10 months, you're on the rebuild side. That's phenomenal. We're saying hi. Ditch the Harbor Freight router. Kentucky Tech. It ain't no Harbor Freight router. It came right from the cable company, bud. Chef Shade Tree Scott says hi to everyone. Stephen Doolittle. What? No. You know what? Just for that comment, this has been, I have, yes, that's without promoting anything and crazy. Yes, that's since 1999 or before. Yeah, probably 99, 2000, somewhere in there. Been my choice. But every now and again, they run out. The other day, they ran out. Got a little this. Apple. So this is probably 5-6 days old now. I think I got it last Friday because they were out. With cutter and software ready to go on the table. Right on. So that's done deal. 25 grand. You're putting in templates and basically printing steel out. It's pretty awesome. Now he has one, his table right now actually will do depth of it'll keep the, basically it'll check the amperage and actually auto give or whatever when it needs it. So I don't know, something like that. Matco Tools, a hat and a light. That's phenomenal, Joshua. All sorts of good stuff happening for Joshua these days. Getting out of high school, getting some gifts, graduation gifts. Hey, Nick, I am Stephen W. Doolittle, not a bro. Oh, come on. Hello, Scott. Kyle Karpovich. Hey, Phil, I bought a Hypertherm 45. It's great for home use. Right on. I will look into those. Hypertherm. Apple is decent. It is. It's decent. It's one of those ones where you're kind of like, yeah, maybe I'll get a little fruity. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta get a little fruity. Not like fruity. But sometimes the berry blend isn't so bad. The peach, I've had the peach before. Like that's what I usually do. If they don't have what I normally have, I'll go with some random freaking berry, peach, apple, something. But I will say this. Today, we had some family pictures taken. I'm not going to lie. They said be yourself. So I left lip bender in. What do you guys think about that? Halfway through the thing, I asked the wife, "Yeah, I should throw this out?" She's like, May Scott, how are you doing? I could use a plasma cutter. I think it's something everyone should need. Sorry. Scott, I'm wore out from a hot week. Yeah, it was hot for sure. Hi, Mr. Beckett. Yes, Phil, I'll give it very consistent and cut. That's the thing. The consistency. Pay enough and they'll fly someone in to train you. Absolutely. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you guys. Anybody ever worked on a transmission I got? Let me pull this up here. It's a 4-speed transmission. And I was going to ask to see if anybody has ever... A T98-148's on the top cover, or it's a T98A-10 W.G division. And then there's a 6-113 on the side of it. It's like a 4-speed transmission, and this is like on a derrick crane. but I don't know, that probably won't show up worth a crap, will it? No, it ain't gonna show up. But it's a 4-speed transmission that's popping out of gear for the guy. But yeah. Hell, Chef. Hypertherm, anything. They are the best plasma cutters. Right on. Hell, Nick, yeah. Don't be sorry. My son is Stephen A. Doolittle. My son is Stephen A. Doolittle. Fixin' Cat, good evening, y'all. How are you? Diabolical, got a question. My car is getting an oil into a cylinder somewhere. Just a little leak down test. Heads were just rebuilt a few minutes ago. Compression was great. Any ideas? Oil into the cylinder somewhere. It's one particular cylinder, Diabolical. Let's see here. Shouldn't be hard to find. This is a brand new motor. I'm thinking the supercharger that replaced the plastic intake is broke somehow. Valve stem seals were in it. All new. Maybe the rings are not offset enough. That's possible if they're not scraping, but if you're saying it's got a blower on it, or supercharger, not a blower. Let's see here. Well, supercharger blower. So, let's see. You say nothing, but has been easy on this 1993. Dinner on the canal today. Beautiful day. Well, that's not good. I've seen one where the valve seals were missing. Somebody forgot to put them in. This is a Hemi crate engine directly from Dodge. Dang. Is it like puffing smoke out of the exhaust, or is it just following the plug, or what's it doing? Diabolical, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Synchronizers or the teeth are not meshing, but this thing here, it's so old that I got to make sure it's probably like 70s vintage, 60s vintage, 70s vintage. Hello, Mike. Oh boy, getting the chops busted today. Could engine pressure test be good depending on the position of the piston? That's another question. Yeah, I mean, do a cylinder leak down test. You're at top dead center. Is there any way you could do a bottom dead center? Never even driven it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you check in the runners and see what it is. Yeah, so I mean, oh, she's smoking. So it's straight up burning oil. Straight up burning oil. Man, it's all cylinders or just one? That's my real question there. Diabolical. You think it's all cylinders or just one? Because that's kind of got me thinking. Let's see. He says I pulled the rockers off, so all the valves are closed when I did the test. Okay, so you pulled the rockers right off, and every valve was closed, and you got good leak down, you got good compression, basically. Everything seems good. I really think that I really think that it'd be something where, like they're saying, valve seats, the umbrella seals, but you can see those, I think. Yeah, shift fork. I got to pull the whole trans out of that thing and see. It's on a derrick, like a well derrick. So I'm not really sure. It's made by Semco, I think, is the name of the company that was on there. But yeah, we're bouncing around 10 different places right now. Yeah, the valve guides would do that. I think rings would do that, but you'd be low on compression. And you said your compression test is good, I think. What'd you say up there? Let me see. Let me see here. Brand new motor. I'm thinking supercharger replace plastic intake. You did a leak down test. Everything is great. Has were just rebuilt a few months ago. Compression is great. Any ideas? So you got good compression. That the valve stems, the valve stem seals are leaking would be a good possibility, or the valve guides, where the valve guides were replaced when you had it done. Because if the valve guides are loose and that seal's not sealing, that oil could flood right in when that valve opens. You know what I'm saying? It might be good when it's closed, but when it opens, that oil could be running right down in on top of the valves. And that's not something you're going to see unless it's on the intake side. You might be able to see it on the intake valve. If you go through the intake with a camera and look at the top of the valve, look for some oil stains on that. The exhaust side, you're probably not going to see nothing because you're smoking anyway. Does it have EGR? Does it have EGR? Kingpin and a step deck. Just finished putting in a hopper. Dang. Is it a short transmission? Yeah, country mile. It's only, I mean, if it's 18 inches, 20 inches long, it's a 4-speed, no reverse. So I'm told. I don't know. It's to run the winch on his derrick is what it's for. Like I said, the valve stem seals I haven't seen a few times. Funny, it can happen. Yeah. Sometimes new parts. Happy Sunday. Good Lord, where are you from? Blower seal? Yeah, that could be. It's highly possible. How much time total do you think to pull that F550 engine and replace the head gasket and get it back together? Oh, I have no idea. F550 or the 550 Ford. I took the head in. They're gonna mill the head. The cracks that were on those things, the machine shop said they're superficial. They sanded them down and magnafluxed it, and there was no real cracks there. They said it's not something to worry about. So, Bill Beckett, I'm better at dents than engines. Supercharged lube created with oil. So many, if so, seals may be bad. That's true. It started a while back. I took the brand new heads off and had them rebuilt, put them back on. Still have the problem. All new seals and everything. This is why I just haven't messed with it. Gotcha. Put a bit of oil into the cylinder and redo the compression test. If you have low compression, it'll show up way easier. Yep. Nothing I own has EGR. Well, I didn't know how new of one it was. JC Smith is in the chat. Welcome, JC. Thank you for that. The other night I was on, I finally caught one of yours, and then you took off and your wife took over for a while. We got to learn some interesting things about the JC Smith situations over there. I think you're in the market for a side-by-side, to tell you the truth. If you didn't know that, you are now. Just so you know. You're in the market for a nice side-by-side. Look at a Spicer 4-speed. They used to have them on old International 4700s. Okay. Hello, Mr. Doolittle. Oil from the heads, not separate line like some. And intercooler cools it. Okay. Vacuum modulated transmission. No, it's the one on the yeah, it could be sucking trans oil through the vacuum line. That might be something. Good afternoon, JC. Wait, it should be. That'll tell you. Isn't coming from there. Hello, Kelly and Mike. I don't know. That's a good possibility from JC Smith there. If the vacuum is modulated from the transmission oil could be being pulled from that vacuum line into your intake. That is not something out. The Ford 550 loader or whatever. No, it's the heads at the machine shop. The heads at the machine shop and it's getting milled, and we're gonna put the head gasket on. I did get the parts for the head gasket set and all that stuff. Just yesterday, Thursday I got all that stuff in, so that's all in. And I'm going to be putting it back together. I think I've got roughly about 6 hours into pulling it all apart and diagnosing it out there with drive time and all that stuff. So I figure another six, maybe 7 hours, put it back together by the time we're done, and should be good to go. It's not that bad to do, but cleaning the head, and then the customer of mine took it to the machine shop himself, just because that's an easier solution for me to let him take care of that portion. But yeah, I should be wrapping that one up. I might do some video on that one a little later. Yes, diabolical. No vacuum with blower. No, it's a 727 with gear vendors. That's happened on older vehicles with modulator valves. Yeah, totally, Scott. That's definitely going back to the 80s, right? 70s, 80s, and some of the 90s, but yeah, for sure, that was an old deal there. That it's one of those. The funny part is things like that get forgotten almost, with everything being electronic and making making the electronic presence versus old vacuum lines and stuff like that. I was doing those brakes, and I was looking for some 3/16 to pipe adapters where you can actually go from 3/16 brake line to pipe, 1/8-inch pipe. And there was one line that was like an 1/8-inch. It was like an 1/8-inch flare fitting to pipe. And the guy at the auto parts store that I stopped at to get, finally found him and got him. He started laughing. He's like, "No, that's the fitting you need for the 50s pickups. They had that one vacuum line for this, that," and it was hilarious because he was loving it. You know what I mean? He was loving it. I didn't want to get her in trouble, JC, but yes, you're definitely looking. You're in the market for a side by side from what I hear. I don't know if anybody else is in that live stream, but
congratulations, JC.
Congratulations, what?
I said congratulations. I wish my wife wanted a side by side.
Well, I think she wants it to work with it. Does that make sense? It sounds like I think she wants it for more of the gardening stuff, which is awesome. What I didn't realize this was the show. I didn't know we were going all sorts of workout madness tonight.
Yeah, I did a sit up earlier. It was about
One.
Yeah, whenever I woke up, I sat up out of bed.
So you're on par for your workout routine. You've completed your whole workout routine for the day.
Well, later I'll do a sit down. So.
Oh yeah, you don't want to see. That's the thing, those guys that work out all the time and they forget leg day. Mm-hmm. So you're just trying to not be that guy. So you do one sit up and one sit down.
Exactly.
At the end of the day to keep everything on kilter.
Yeah, I give myself plenty of time to rest in between. Don't want to pull a hammy or or anything like that.
No. You don't want to do that. I got to put these on. I'm like half deaf tonight or something's going on here. I don't know what's going on. I'm half deaf. Now I look like a DJ.
Yeah. DJ Wrench.
Oh, wait. We got to go like this then, right? Now everybody's going to be like, I look like, what's his name from Limp Bizkit?
Or Linkin Park.
Linkin Park, good Lord.
Yeah, the guitarist from Linkin Park's always wearing headphones.
Yeah. Getting crazy now. Holy shit. Yeah, I know. Don't be scared, guys. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of muscle mass on the other end of this live stream right now. I don't want anybody to get scared or intimidated. But I didn't know. Maybe we should start this sleeveless Saturday.
I'm down.
Sleeveless Saturday with the Heavy Wrench and friends. Because we can't say what we're really, what type of show you're putting on right now, but because that'll get us like boom demonetized type stuff,
No.
I like putting in adjustable modulator valves, like putting a shift kit in. That was the shift kits. To be the worst part is bleeding the coolant, I bet. Even with a vacuum bleeder.
What year model is that engine? Did he ever say?
No, I don't think he said what year it was.
Because if it's like
he just said Hemi, and
yeah, but I mean, if he bought a newer one, it came with the MDS. So that's what I'm wondering. The multiple cylinder displacement.
Oh,
it cuts off the 4 cylinders.
See, you're speaking gibberish right now. All this gas talk. Blah 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 blah.
I only know this because I own one.
Dude, I've been working on a pulling tractor that's pure diesel. They're talking about the percentage of alcohol they have to run in their water to keep everything right while they're going down the track. I mean, we're talking a John Deere 6-cylinder cast iron block, and the last time they had it dynoed was hitting right around 1700. Like, what? It's crazy, but it'll be a good video when it comes out. I got it half edited right now. Your video was great the other day, by the way.
Yep, that's what 12 minutes sitting in the car will get you.
Apparently. Or a kid. It could also get you a child. Depending on the company. Get a Yamaha mule. Anybody watching the new racing?
Racing?
I don't know. And there's trouble in the house. Oh. Get a Yamaha mule. Oh, you've done a few 12-ounce curls in the day. Well, that's where the bulk came from. You these guys that do their bulk up programs.
Yeah.
You got to get on See, the problem is to be a well-rounded technician, you have to put in the effort. Do you know how, some of these skinny guys, do you know what type of dedication it takes to go home and eat a dessert after you've already been full from dinner? You have to sit down and work through that pain.
Wait, you eat your dessert after dinner?
Well,
I thought you were supposed to eat it whenever you got home, and then you ate dinner, then you had dessert.
Well, I didn't say how many. I said after a full meal. You know what I mean? Like if you're not eating a pound of steak and at least a good pile of taters, you're really not getting anywhere. The bulk up program. Hello, Bearded CB. I'm sorry. I totally passed by. I was reading your comments and didn't even say hello. It's great to have you in the chat as usual. I see you're on your outdoors channel tonight, which is phenomenal. Hey, XFL and JC. My wife loves my side-by-side. Her. Kawasaki mules always mix it up. Hello, Brandon. How are things in the world? I thought that was pretty good, though. You were away, JC, and she was like, yep, I think I need a side-by-side. He sold my other one. And it was pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. It was like one of those, like she was sitting down amongst a bunch of your friends and was like, hey, could you guys help me out? I want a side-by-side. Like, he came home with 3 more trucks yesterday, and all I want is a side-by-side. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. It was pretty comical. I was having a good time with it. My wife came in and she's like, she heard JC's wife on the live stream and she's like, what are you watching? Like giving me the third degree because I'm watching. She hears a woman's voice on a live stream that I'm watching, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's." And I showed her, and she's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Like no big deal after that. But it was like the third degree of like, "What are you watching on there? You watching? You just chatting it up with some chick on the internet?" Mm-mm.
No.
Don't worry. It's all good. We're all handled. I'm like, no, she's married. I don't know about how happily, but she's a married woman. Kind of like my wife. Never can tell.
Is it Jason Hook is selling stuff? So
I don't know.
Guitar player. Because
I have no idea. I am horrible. The only people that I know that really are good at playing guitar is like, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Hank could strum pretty good. I don't know. I mean, then you get crazy drinking muscle milk out of the other.
If Muscle Milk wants to contact me and put this formula in a bottle, I'll let them know what it is.
I was thinking it was like Badger milk. Kentucky Bigelow. We're going to see how many times we can get Kentucky Tech to just stop talking and laugh, purely laugh tonight. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You just got to keep the separate sides. It's like a 2-compartment room. Just don't make it shirtless Tuesday or something. Well, I figured sleeveless Saturday is a good option, or suspender Saturdays. I don't know. I wear suspenders now. I started wearing them again ever since whoever called me out on my underwear showing on the one video. I'm like, I've been wearing suspenders whenever I take a video now, just in case I got to pick something up. 2017.
Yeah, that has NDS on it. So check your NDS system. Make sure, because I'm sure if you had it rebuilt, they put plugs in for the oil cutoff sensors or actuator, whatever they call them, in the valley. So you might have a leak there. I don't know if it could get down into the cylinder, but something to look at.
Awesome. Bearded CB got to edit a video. I would not own a new select cylinder truck, especially GM. Awesome. rings. GM Coolant eats liners as well, as it is. The new SRX series founded by Tony Stewart and Ray. My bulk is raised by semi-tires, bacon, Jim Keg, in that order. Thank you, Bearded CB, for that. Bow chicken bow wow. Bearded CB, good to see you. Check out this guy without sleeves. Who does he think he is? Power Stroke Jude? I'm sorry, Jude. I'm not gonna lie. Kentucky Tech is not nearly as buff as you. So I'm sorry to tell you this, but I don't think there was ever a competition, Jude. You just win. I mean, you have the California style look, and he's from Kentucky. So when he goes sleeveless, it's just, yep, some old hillbilly. And when you go, it's like style. This is fun. What's up, Davian?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Jude? Hey, Occupant. No kidding, Jude, too. Thomas Stentz, how are you?
Oh,
Evening just got in. Stephen Doolittle, my brother. Yes. Chevy has some kind of problems. Diabolical says the engine hasn't been rebuilt. That is in there. Just the heads have been rebuilt. The engine has maybe 20 minutes of runtime. Never been idled up or driven.
so does it have a stock cam in it? If it has the stock cam in it and they put aftermarket lifters, that could be a problem.
With oil consumption?
I mean, it's possible.
Because he's eating oil. He says it's fogging out. He said he could fog mosquitoes from Oklahoma to here.
Well, that'd be perfectly fine.
I might need to borrow that vehicle for a little bit here.
As long as he swings through Kentucky, it's perfectly fine.
I might need to borrow that. We'll just park it out by the pond and let it run for a few minutes, and we'll see what happens.
Diabolical, on your way to Michigan, just swing through Kentucky. I'll leave 7 quarts of oil for you out there by the mailbox.
As long as we can afford to pay for the oil to get them through, I think we'll be okay. Let's see. She spent the whole day in the blazing heat helping me load the new purchases. She heard you talk about the 3 trucks. She would be happy if it was only 3. I just figured 3 was an average day for you, JC. I mean, kind of like Kentucky Tech's 1 sit up and 1 sit down for the day. I think 3 trucks is a good day for you. Normal day, average. Let's see. I don't know which it is, but
Well, he might have bought 6 and then took today off.
that might be it. He might have needed a Saturday to count all the wheels that he has in his yard. Like that semi's got 2, 4, 6, 8. He's like, well, that's 10, 20, all on trucks, right? Like, it's awesome though. Not only can Kentucky Tech not spell good, obviously, yeah, but he can't do laundry either. He shrunk the sleeves of his shirt. Well, Kentucky Tech, I don't know what to tell you, but chops are getting busted today. It's and then this. I do
Hey, I wish I had Larry the Cable Guy's bank account, that's for sure.
Yeah, I will trade him my sleeves for his bank account anytime he wants. I would. People have said I look like him in the past, and whatever.
Hey, I'll be honest. I'll take just what he made off Cars, that Cars movie or whatever.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
take just what he made off that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I would. You'd be able to afford the melting pot of toolboxes in perfection with and not have to work anymore.
More than likely.
Got some one solution oil I could spare. Are you talking about the ISX fix back in the day? Like in the when was that? There was an ISX fix of oil that you bought when you started having rings stick, and it would actually free up the rings. You buy it right through Cummins. It was a Rotella product, I think. You buy it right through them, and you'd run it for, what was it? You'd have to run it for 5,000 miles. I think they wanted you to run it, and then change it and then run it again, because it would take all that carbon and bring it back down in the oil. It would actually dissolve the carbon up in the rings. And they didn't want you to run it very, very good. Oh, cool. Exceptional day. Very excited to make this video. I'm excited to watch the video. Yeah. Hey, Brandon. How y'all been? How you been? Those shirts are very popular. See them often in Walmart shoppers. Usually 3 sizes too small.
Well, I guess I'm the exception. Mine's only 1.5 too small.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing, you steal. As long as you're not coming out in a onesie. Valvoline one solution for diesel CNG, 50,000 mile oil change interval. Really?
Oh, that's nothing. We got trucks running 75,000 on an oil change.
What?
I'm not happy about it, but
it's happening.
They're doing it.
So we might be selling our bikes. What? We were a test bed for it for the past few years. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, CB, that you got to test. I mean, yeah, if you're a test place for it, that's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Use Seafoam. I used Seafoam the other day, and I used it on the one tractor we got. It's got plexiglass windows, and you know how they get the fog, how you can't see through them.
Yeah.
Take Seafoam on a rag, wipe the plastic, and you can see through them for a while again. The only problem is with the tractor is the dust. Seafoam likes to collect the dust, right? Because it's an oil.
Yeah.
But it works great. Like if you have a dull fiberglass or plastic, like the black plastic on a tractor or dirt bike or 4-wheeler or whatever, put some Seafoam on it, wipe it down, take your pictures right before you sell it. That plastic will look like I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe I let the cat out of the bag on that one. Whoops.
Yeah. What is it? So Seafoam on the plastic, baby powder in the transmission.
I ain't never done that.
No, brake fluid in the transmission.
Brake fluid in the there you go.
I don't know where I got baby powder from.
I was like, where did you get baby powder from?
Say what? That's freaking cool. I just got a picture of something that's really freaking cool. But I can't share it.
Oh.
Sorry, Wyatt. And don't worry. Maybe it was for my wife. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I broke out the old OBD1 connectors. What? That's awesome. At least I knew to go 75,000 on the oil. Had to rebuild engines before the second oil change.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, the trucks they're doing it with are slip seat trucks, so they run 20 or 22 hours a day. So they're not shutting them off. They're running just over 2,000 miles a week, something like that. And so far, we haven't had any engines drop, but I have seen other trucks that have already had liners and pistons put in them.
Question on those. Are they all the same engines that you're running pretty much?
Yeah, it's a Detroit DD15.
A DD15, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How many 60 series you got sitting there waiting to go in them?
No.
Oh, you wish. You are like wishing right now, aren't you?
Well,
Like that you can go back to the 60 series.
my company runs a truck for 5 years, roughly 5 years, 500,000. Then they sell it off because at 500,000 miles, it still has decent resale value.
Well, depreciation hits its peak at that point, right?
Yeah.
And then you move along, right? Yeah. So,
I mean, as much as I wish they would start running gliders, they never will.
No. When you get into a company that's large, like I'm guessing the one you work for is, it's definitely you cut your losses right away off the top. You don't try to beat the system. You just figure out how to work it. And I think that's what you're seeing, right? Because you don't keep them long enough where you get the emissions problems and stuff like that to a certain extent, right? If you dump them,
stuff like that.
But if you dump them in 500,000 miles, right, you're not seeing the big failures of the DPFs. You're not seeing on a consistent basis. If let's say if you're at I don't know how big the company is you work for, but let's say there's 50 trucks, right? You're going to see out of 50, maybe 5 DPFs fail in 500,000 miles.
Yeah.
Out of that 50, and versus if you kept them to 1 million, you're going to see 80% of those fail. And at $12,000 a pop or whatever the heck it is for a DPF, if it's a one box or something like that, I think they're 12, 15,000, aren't they? For the one box.
I think they're around 10 or 11 for a one box.
Okay, so for $10,000 for a one box, you're talking $10,000 there.
Yeah,
a couple new over trucks. 50 trucks. That's almost half a truck you just saved. Or wait, no, 50 trucks.
50 trucks, $10,000 a pop. You're buying 2 trucks.
So, you buy 2 new trucks for the money that you saved, and you can. Yeah. So those 2 trucks are free. So if you replace 5 every year out of that 50 every 10 years, or I guess you said it's 5 years, so you'd have to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So 10 every year, 2 of them are free because you've saved that just in DPFs on the rest of them.
Yep.
So, it is what it is. Pepper in the cooling system with an egg.
Yeah.
You have to put the egg in there too. But I'm going to caution you. Don't put the egg in when it's hot. You have to put the egg in. Otherwise, you just cook the egg on the top of the radiator cap. That's all you do. But if you want a quick egg, feel free. Yeah. Set the whole egg in there, and you can hard boil it right there while you're driving.
Yeah, with a hint of ethylene glycol.
No, hard boil.
Oh, okay.
You drop it right in the top of the radiator, shell and all. Hard boil it right there. You're good to go.
I don't know. We've dyed eggs a lot of times, and a lot of those eggs have cracks. So.
Oh yeah, and they slip right through. Nothing like eating a pink hard-boiled egg at Easter time, right? Sawdust in the trans. Oh yeah. Now I have ran actual like trans hydraulic oil from TSC and a bunch of different cars. It works just fine. Did he say 75,000 mile oil change?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
He did.
The way my company runs it on those trucks is 75,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. But with them, it's 75,000.
Do they do oil samples at your company?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Most of our customers don't park on our lot, so
Oh, gotcha.
if they don't break down, we don't see them until it's time to do an oil change.
But you do all the oil changes yourself. You guys, your company
Well,
does.
yeah.
You guys, the customer that leases the vehicle or whatever it is, I don't know what you work for, but the customer that has the truck doesn't do their own oil changes or repairs. They bring it right to you. Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's a headlight bulb, a Glad hand seal. Although I have gotten in the habit of handing out Glad hand seals just by the handful.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
makes sense.
who wants a 2 a.m. call out for a Glad hand seal?
Depends what it pays.
4 hours.
That's not a bad deal. I'm not gonna lie. You want to pay me 4 hours to go out and change a Glad hand seal? I guarantee if you paid JC Smith $500 to go change some Glad hand seals on the side of the road, he would do it with bells on.
He might even bring you breakfast if you're lucky.
He might even drop the guy off a donut if it's a Friday in the middle of the day. They like they don't have enough oil supply problems. Right? I mean,
There might be a few.
you know, kick a dog while it's down, right? So you guys basically don't, but you have some Cummins in your fleet though, right?
Yeah, but they're going away from the Cummins.
Really?
From what I've seen on a lot of the newer stuff, the Cummins after treatment hasn't caught up to the Detroit. So we have more problems with the Cummins after treatment. And with Daimler owning Freightliner and Detroit, a Freightliner with a Detroit is pretty much a base model now.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Without and that's yeah.
Yeah.
And without getting in any politics, those are just policies that were made, right? So we're not politically charged in any way, shape, or form on that one. But I think gliders were something that I wish when the gliders were coming out, I was independent. I wish, because I could have done some awesome glider work, I think. And I would have had fun doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One box I get for $6,000 with a $3,000 core. That's that. I mean, right on. I don't know what they are. I don't know the price. That's the thing. I have no.
We haven't the one box in 3 years, so.
Possibly, but Kentucky Tech is just trying to do his job and the best he can. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I'm a number, and I'm a number. That's it. They tell me what to do, and I got to make it happen.
306. I don't need to change my oil, just a filter. There is nothing wrong with a 306. That is the greatest engine ever made. Bar none, I would say the most reliable engine made by Ford was the 306. And you could, if you had a stick with that, like I had an 89, I think it was, with a stick. Boy, ripper. Let me just tell you, two-wheel drive, ripper. That 306, the one time I was like 16, 17. Brought it home. It was completely out of oil, locked right up. Hot. Let her cooled off. Added 4 or 5 quarts of oil, whatever it took. Fired that baby up. Still drove it for a couple years. If that doesn't testament to being the awesome thing, I don't know what is. Jeremy Schwab. good truck though, Axwell. Every time. In Saskatchewan, you have to insure a glider by the year of the engine, not the year of the truck it's in.
Ooh,
Whoa, that's kind of different.
yeah. I mean, if anything ever happened, you'd kind of get screwed on a payout, but you might save a little bit on your premiums.
Yeah, but even then, you could almost pick what the value of the truck is, even though it's an older truck. Like, let's say it was a 2000.
Yeah.
Let's go with the holy grail here. Okay. Let's say it's an N14. An N14 like JC's older water rig there. And you had that in a glider kit and a newer truck. You'd still be in the 90s, right? I think it was a 90s truck. I don't remember what year that truck was. Saving companies lots of money. You know, the worst part is that emissions, the problem with the, oh boy, I don't even know if I want to start here. Do I really want to go there? Tell me in the chat if you want me to go there, because I'm about to get lit. Fuse is about to get lit.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't happen often. And Kentucky Tech's here. He's got my back. He's got the cutoff sleeve, so he's the bouncer of the situation. If I get out of control, he'll just thump me on the head. No big deal.
Except I have a feeling what you're about to say I agree with, so...
If I get out of line, you got to thump me. I mean...
I don't know. We're friends, so, you know, I might just be that... I'm like that guy who's over in the corner yelling, Chuck, Chuck, Chuck.
Let's hear it. Go for it, Phil. Let's hear it. 92 mechanical N14. Now that's the one. That's a good one. Letterbuck. Well, here's the problem. I'm going to take everybody off here so nobody else gets hammered on this. Emissions is horrible, right? The only thing that we're doing is literally feeding that engine its own waste. Okay, EGR is the devil. I'm not going to lie out there. If anybody wants to agree, disagree, that's fine. I don't care. EGR is the devil. Okay.
Yep.
The DEF that we're producing, you always see the memes. We're saving the world one plastic little jug at a time. Fact, right? Do I think it's a good thing that we're separating NOx, nitrogen, and the O2 and separating that and taking that useless gas and turning it back into something? Okay, that makes sense to me. But at what cost? It's no different than you start going into like all the other ways that we're trying to save the world, right? We're saving the world by doing this, all this emissionizing engines. Make it the electric vehicle has got me so frustrated right now that I am fed up with hearing about electric vehicles. Now, if you want to talk about like the 944 John Deere that's a hybrid, or the 644 I believe is a hybrid, now those are a step in the right direction. Okay, because you're literally taking a power plant and a genset, running it at AX number of RPMs to generate that three-phase power to run to 4 3-phase electric motors on the wheels, right? Now you've taken and mitigated all that torque curve and power curve, and you've brought it down to a different curve, because now you can really specifically take that camshaft and make it just perfect for that set RPM at that set load, and you know pretty much what it's going to be, right? You know what your fuel is going to be throughout the day. Now, if you want to missionize that engine, great. Get rid of the EGR, stop making it eat its own waste, and now you'll clean up things, because it's horrible. It's horrible, and it just frustrates the crap out of me. But there's 3 ways you can look at it, right? You can stick your head in the sand and ignore it, right? Or you can, you have to be at the fact of we're all somewhat technical guys in here that have to deal with it. We all have to deal with emissions every day. That's part of our job. It's part of what we do. And it's most of our focus at this point. I mean, I'm looking at spending big money on a laptop just to deal with emissions, right?
Mhm.
Now, where's my value in that? Because I'm leaving the world a better place? Okay. But am I? When I'm running that regen, you know how much fuel do you think that takes during that regen? Do they just not count that into the fuel economy? Because those trucks, when they're doing a regen back, let's say pre-def regen, right? Drive, sitting there just cooking for an hour on the side of the road, just cooking. Engine RPM's up, everything's running hot, just dumping. And now, how are they getting the exhaust hot? Oh, they're just dumping raw fuel into it.
Mm-hmm.
What does raw fuel do when it burns? Oh, it creates carbon and soot and hydro. Like, what do you? I just.
Well,
I better get back to comments.
Well, you got that picture I sent you the other day of that DPF, right?
Yeah, half gone, right? Melted.
Yeah. Well, it actually wasn't melted. Guess where I found it all?
Back further?
In the inlet of the SCR.
Really?
Yeah. So we all know what DPFs and catalytic converters are made out of. They're all made of the precious metals. So all that has to be mined. Have you ever seen those mines?
Yeah.
They're huge, and they're running 100-ton haul trucks that I used to work
Well, here's
at
the other
quarry.
700 horsepower, you don't need emissions.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're taking non-emissionized engines to mine the materials for emissionized engines.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
ludicrous does this sound? It could only sound well in a room where people have no common sense.
Well, what kind of fuel mileage do you think a Caterpillar 992G gets? I know you work with Komatsu. It's the same size as
A 992 is probably burning on an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift, probably burning about 992. I bet you it's burning 600 gallons of fuel a day.
That's a little bit high. Anywhere from 28 to 40 gallons an hour.
That's 40 gallons an hour.
Yeah.
So, okay, so 300 gallons a day.
400 gallons.
So 400 gallons a day.
Yeah.
You're saying
That's
10
one
hours,
shift.
400.
That's
One shift. Yep.
Yeah.
400 gallons. Yep. And I believe it because
you run that same loader 20 hours a day. So that's damn near 1,000 gallons of fuel a day for one piece of equipment. And these quarries are running. The quarry I worked at, every single day they ran minimum 3 992s, a possible fourth one, and every now and then they'd have the WA 900 running, which
outperformed them all. I get it.
There's a reason nobody liked it, but
oh my gosh.
Something about that steering wheel in the middle of the cab.
Were all the other ones joysticks?
Yeah, the Caterpillars are just
joysticks.
Yeah.
The new ones they make with joystick or mostly joystick now. Anything 600 and above is joystick on Komatsu as well.
Well, the one we had joysticks or the steering wheel. You could.
Oh, both.
Yeah, but it was just weird to run. We're used to cats. I mean, not gonna say cats.
It's like, I think it's worse.
It's like the equivalent of you taking a crap on your own plate and then eating it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for you to gum up.
I'm having a problem right now just hearing you say that.
And we expect these engines to do it for 1 million miles at 80% load.
Yeah, come on, like seriously, I am all for if you want to put an SCR on these things and feed it to death.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what it takes to produce death. I still have never looked into that. But I know it's
32.5,
32.5%
urea,
and
then iodized water.
Yep. So Yeah, deionized water. Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
So
So
I don't know if they have somebody out there with a specimen cup collecting urea underneath
I don't
the
know
lot.
either. I think that I think that literally it's from lagoons is where they get it. Like a farm lagoon,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. And then they refine it from there. From what I think, but I don't know. I've got a case 600 now that needs $11,000 muffler, and it's not going to happen. That's what I mean. What are you going to do? You know, it's tough, and we're in the middle where we're telling customers that they need to spend $11,000 on a muffler,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you know,
here's
and where do they get that money from? You know, it's just the problem with emissions is it's a forced inflation, right? Because now I got to spend the money on a computer to actually talk to it. So is Diesel Dude Kentucky. So if whoever, doesn't matter, right? It's just it's horrible, and then it bothers me. But the worst part is we have to deal with it. So you might as well dig into it. I mean, grit your teeth and make it happen. You know what I mean? Because you gotta deal with it. You're not getting around it. There's no way you're getting around it. We were for a while with glider kits, with elite kits that people were selling. I don't even know how they work. I've never done one. I've never dealt with. Well, I have dealt with one, but I've never done one. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with one that I had to put back 2 emissions that was already deleted, and that was a horrible situation. That customer paid through the nose for that. Smaller engines, electric drives. Toyo was trying to do it with heavy forklifts back in 2011. Yeah, they're doing it. Cash for clunkers, taking drivable vehicles and destroying them so even parts can't be reused, which is replaced by more vehicles. I know. Raw fuel means you can change lines. Change lanes. That's right. It's all them. Yeah. Electric cars are made out of future toxic with waste batteries. Yeah. And last month I pulled the EGR valves and intake heaters off of 4 ISL 9 engines to clean them due to the clogging up everything. Yeah, and that's what we're seeing, right? That's really what we're seeing. I don't know.
ISLs and ISBs are horrible about clogging the EGR delta pressure sensor ports.
Yes. We lost some people. I'm not gonna lie after my rant.
Well,
like, I'm out. Not really, but it looks like it in the chat. Use it without a muffler. Yeah. Jim Lucky, how you doing? Nice to have you in the chat. I do apologize for my rant, but oh, I got you. I'm sorry. It's in my head right now, Diabolical. I didn't get it, but yeah. Raw fuel means you can change lanes. That's right. Sorry. Don't forget they're saying that death is killing the bee population.
Well,
I don't. Chandler, yep, it's crazy. These trucks only have barely 100,000 miles on them. Yeah, and you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
mm-hmm.
And it's not even right, you know? I mean, we're putting more, I don't know. And then all the scrap has to be refined. You know, I don't know.
Wow.
And what's happening with parts, I think we're going on the road to the grind of the long haul. Yeah, I don't see this being anything good for us.
I mean, we've had several conversations about emissions and EGR, and I mean, it all stems from there was a small group of people, very small group of people, that caused everybody. I mean, you can say this about any rule. There's a reason my company has a handbook and has certain policies that basically exonerate them from certain situations. because somebody did something stupid, and then they had to make a rule for everybody. And so there's a small group of people out there that left 3 miles of coal everywhere they went in their semis. So now we have to control that. And we still see it now. People going around with their 5.9 Cummins, and it's just as soon as they take off, there's just a solid cloud of smoke everywhere. And people see that and say, well, that's got to be horrible for the environment. And it is. It's bad for the environment. But it's not as bad as everything else that's going on to try and control it.
Sometimes I see what you're saying. The tough part is I'm not. I mean, Country Mile. It's one of those things. I don't like to rant about stuff like that, but it triggers me, and it's you know what I mean. Like I don't. It doesn't like trigger me like that one photo where that chick's wearing the glasses like triggered me, but it does. It lights a fuse for me for sure, because it's something we have to take, like we take it to heart, right? When you tell a customer that he's got to spend $11,000, $10,000 and all he's getting is a component because your computer can't make it clean, and what the XFL, I'm still here. EGR is dumb, not your rant. Maybe they're dropping to go to the bar. Yeah, I don't. XFL, it's got a little box that tells us now. Tarek, remember to sign the RPM Act if you get a chance. I personally know 2 shops that have gotten hit with EPA fines for selling products, not even installation. That's next. You know, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, Tarek. There's no way around it. You can't get around it. You have to work through it. And that's the problem. And right now, that's the grind that we all have to do as technicians and mechanics, technicians. I don't, however you want to spell tech is fine by me. Apparently, I mean, whether you spell it the right way or wrong, I don't care.
Well,
I mean, but either way,
how that happened.
It's almost kind of a funny play on words because it literally is tech now, like you're spelling, right? Like you're on a computer trying to figure out what's going on with the exhaust or the fuel system. Back in the day, you're cracking a line, you're like, ooh, that looks kind of foamy. Ooh, we better check to see where we're sucking some air. Now you're like, oh, I don't know. Maybe the injector pulse is just off a little bit because that harness isn't right. And you know what? Like you're literally looking at fine tune. Like if you were in the high performance world back in the day, right? You might look at that stuff, right? Like drag car guys and all that stuff. They are into fine tuning. Every diesel truck right now, diesel engine sold, is a finely tuned machine.
Yeah.
And then you're throwing them out on the road. You're throwing them out in the gravel pits. You're throwing them out on construction sites where they are just abused daily. And not like abused like this person doesn't take care of their truck or nobody takes care of their. It doesn't. Now I'm not saying that. I'm talking you're putting them to their max load, max capability, and running them hard every day. And they're built for that, supposedly. But we all see these failures, and it's not good. Chris Freeman, that's why he has the old stuff. Yeah, as long as you can keep that old stuff. But I know there's some states you can't even go into if you got the old stuff.
Yep. I agree.
A bankrupted trucking company. That's what I'm saying. It's not. And so what do they do? How do they make that? How does the trucking company or the construction company overcome that cost? They pass it along.
Well,
so
either
the guy getting your septic tank put in, your new septic field, new septic tank, you're paying for the emissions because now they're charging an extra, let's say, $20 an hour for that machine because they know it's going to cost them an extra $10,000 at some point on that machine.
And not even that, it has killed the owner-operator industry.
Oh,
They're-
for sure.
I mean, I know a bunch of companies. I know a bunch of drivers. I don't know anybody who owns their own truck anymore. I mean,
I know quite a few still.
But the guys who are owner operators, they're leasing their trucks because if there's a problem, the company that owns the truck, like the company I work for, we go in, we pay for it. They don't pay for it. The truck failed. Now, if something they did caused it,
Yeah, if they're putting
they
fuel
did
in the
for
DEF
fuel
system,
tank.
if they're putting DEF in the fuel system or fuel in the DEF system, then it's on them.
Yeah, they pay for it. I mean,
They pay for it.
I
But if it's
we billed a guy $10,000 for because his driver put DEF in the fuel system, ran it out of fuel after he did that, killed the fuel pump. We put a new fuel rail on it and a 6-pack of injectors. I mean, it was
$10,000.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
so that's what I'm saying. A simple hose swap at the fuel pump. Did you see that picture of that lady filling her car up with DEF?
Oh, I think I think that was on my story.
It was somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but it was like I was like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
see ya. Take her right to the scrapper.
Yep.
Unless she didn't start it and somebody got to her and said, hey, don't start this. Don't turn the key on
We need to take your fuel tank off.
right now. Call a tow truck. Don't turn the key on. Don't even want to put that fuel pump in action.
No.
Like,
Well, let's see. I went to tech school down in Nashville in 2013. You know what they told us the hottest job in 2013 was for diesel mechanics?
what's that?
Volkswagen.
Oh,
All the
yeah?
little diesel engines that they put in the little TDIs or whatever it was.
Oh, the ones that all got recalled?
Well, what was happening was they were starting to come back and get traded in, and guys were buying them for their kids, and they just pull up and fill them full of gas. Apparently,
What?
they put gasoline in them, burn up all the injectors.
And that's what they do just to make sure they were junk.
No, these kids were buying, or these guys were buying
Oh,
for their kids, and their kids didn't know the difference between gasoline and diesel, and would put gasoline in them, so that there were literally techs who all they were doing was replacing injectors in these little diesel Volkswagens.
that's pretty wild.
Apparently, those dudes were working on flat rate, and they were just making bank.
Oh, I'm sure. Shine at. Hey, beard guy.
Okay, well that's awkward. We got one of those.
What?
Shine Aqua.
Shine on. You make me, and that's kind of crazy. I don't know if we should put that. That's
Not gonna post a link to my YouTube channel in the comments.
I don't know what that's all about, but okay.
I mean,
They
I'd
were
understand if it was from Uncle Dave, but
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's really kind of weird. Anyway, thing with emissions is we're burning more fuel now, and DEF, which is all reformed, transported so easily. Yeah, when's it gonna pay off? I don't know if it's gonna pay off. These days, if you don't have a computer, you're almost dead in the water for any engine issues. Absolutely. And that's the tough parts. That's the tough part. The ways of love, a mystery to me. The feeling of what? Somebody put that in timeout.
what's going on?
Put it. I got it.
Hey, if you're leaving a troll comment, make sure you at least drop a like.
I don't know where the trolls are coming from tonight. Very interesting trolls. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Are we sure it's not Joey Morrison?
I don't think so. Whatever. I put them in timeout. Feel free as a moderator, if you see stuff like that, just squash it. If you want to buy a 96 F350 7.3 how long my state will let me keep these on the road? It's hard to find even registered farm vehicles now for us. Yeah. And you're in Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Maybe the subject Phil is talking about. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was all that talk about sleeveless Saturdays. They're saying there's going to be a driver shortage in North America in the next 2 to 5 years. Absolutely. There's already a shortage of everything.
Man.
Tarek registers the main Vermont. You don't need to be a resident. I heard a guy in my area took his DPF filter off his 8360 RT. He blew it out, washed it out. I have heard of people doing that to their filters with a power washer, yada, yada, to clean them. It does work for a while, but I don't think the long-term effect is going to be the fix. I think it's a short-term effect.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard of it working.
Have you ever seen the filter cleaners? Have you ever used one of those? You put it in there backwards and it sends the air down through it and it collects all the particulate matter that comes out of one. We had one. They don't work. But I mean, you would clean one, then later Renegade.
See, Renegade. Sorry, I wasn't being rude. I wasn't stopping you.
But I mean, you would clean one, and I mean, 150, 200,000 miles, you were replacing it. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you for kicking trolls out. I appreciate it. Hard to beat a TDI. Thank you.
Well, I mean, apparently you can buy a used TDI with brand new injectors in it.
He is still reading these. Apparently. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't see them all the time. So they do kind of. Oh, StreamYard will still show all comments. Gotcha. So I just got to skip them myself. It's Kentucky Tech draws the trolls.
Well, there's a lot of trolls on the internet, and I only have 191 subscribers. So
I saw a video where Western Equipment took pre-emissions truck and added emissions to the engine, all the accessories with it. I would love to see that final bill. Yeah, I mean that's what it's down to. Where he's at, where Warren is at, he's gotta he's in the middle of it. He has to deal with it. There's just like we do. It's coming. If you don't think it's coming to a state near you, you're wrong. It's coming to Michigan. It's coming to Kentucky. It's coming to Oregon. It's coming everywhere. It's going to sweep the country just like the emissions did before. It's going to be a policy, and we're going to have to deal with it. And if you stick your head in the sand and don't want to learn about it, I hope you're close to retirement. Does that make sense or not? For the younger guys coming in, you are going to have to 100% have to deal with emissions.
Well, one of the guys I work with now, he was sitting there and he was telling me about his dad's 3406 and his dad's big Cam Cummins. And I kind of got the feeling that that was what he wanted to work on. And I told him every single day a 3406 dies. It ain't coming back. They sling a rod, they drop a valve, whatever. Every day, one of those old pre-emissions engines dies. Eventually, they're all going to be gone. We'll be able to see them at truck shows and tractor shows and stuff like that. But they're not making 3406s anymore. They're not making Series 60s anymore. I mean, it's just part of it. I mean, let's see, what was the big cat engine before the 3406 that everybody loves?
It was a 3406.
Yeah. But
they had the E model.
Well, I mean, we look at Cummins. We had everybody really liked the N14 whenever they came out with the ISXs.
That 855 big cam was a bad beast back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They were. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some more experienced guys in here in the chat, but the 855 I think was a great engine as well. The N14 was a true upgrade to the 855 for sure, but the 855 was good big power back in the day, and that put a lot of Caterpillars in their place.
Well,
I mean,
but whenever it switched from the 855 to the N14, there were a lot of guys who weren't happy about it. And now the 855, I wonder how many of them are still out there.
there's quite a few, but not on the road. Farm tractors.
Well, yeah, but
you know, like there's a lot of. I just ran a seven. I just did a rack on a 855 this year for a guy on his farm tractor. Ran the rack. The little torque wrench, 5-inch pound torque wrench. But yeah, I mean,
there's more
this counts. My worst ones are Mac and Volvo Tech Tool.
Tech Tool, I've learned to work around it a little bit. It sucks.
I guess explain it a little bit.
Volvo Mac uses I think they call it professional or pro or performance Tech Tool. It's their
diagnostic. Okay.
Yeah. And it's confusing because you gotta, in order to find the fault codes, you have to go to the diagnose, or it says diagnose. Then whenever you get in there, it shows you like engine, transmission, like all the modules.
Yep.
And down at the bottom of the screen, it says continue. Once you hit continue, then you can clear out the fault codes. Like it just doesn't, you can't just clear out the fault codes right off the bat like you can with Cummins.
Gotcha. I think it does.
Yes.
I think it extremely does. I think DEF is the solution to fuel economy and clean engines because the thing is when you need DEF and when DEF works great, right? It's because you don't have any soot. Okay. So basically when your hydrocarbon particle comes down, right? Or when that comes down,
your
NOx goes up. It's on a teeter-totter. So when your NOx is up, you need more DEF. When NOx is up, you're running that baby to its peak performance. You're 100% fuel efficient. Well, as close to 100% fuel efficient, clean burn that you can be. Your air fuel ratio is just spot on, right? Why wouldn't you want to run an engine that way? Why would you want to feed it its own way? It blows my mind.
I mean,
I wish this right here could get into one of those rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, let's actually think about this. But here's the problem. They don't understand that when you pump too much grease into a Zerk fitting, the rest of it comes out the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that are coming up with this logic don't get that logic. You know? It's crazy. And the owner can still see it. I know. It's like, it's probably, I don't even know because I do it on StreamYard, so I can't even see all the blue wrenches that I have. Like, I have no clue who's a blue wrench or who's not anymore. I know most of them, but you know what I'm saying.
Well,
luckily, I will be young. Luckily, young, and basically that's all I've ever done because so you're in a good wheelhouse, and that's the thing, you know. Unfortunately, you want to kick the high gear of the world, fight back, folks. Yeah. Here you go. So basically, he's saying you look like an 855 big cam right now.
So the 855 big cam is the Ford 306 of the diesel engine world.
I don't know if it's that good, but pretty good.
So,
Got me talking about gas. The KTA was the cat killer. Hi, Lee Jenkins. How are you? Thanks for coming in the shop. Plenty of Case and John Deere. Yeah, Country Mile. Steigers. 855 was an awesome engine, and you could just turn the pump and get the power out of them. That's it. That's it. That P pump. Oh man, or PT pump, I should say.
So they had the famed screw on the back.
On the side.
Mm.
I'm just saying. I had an M14 that had the same pump and fuel system on it, mechanical, like the one JC's got, and it was a WA 500 wheel loader, and the guy wanted some more power, and I was like, okay, whatever. Gave her the old turn up, and then the next time I went back to do a service on it, he's like, hey man, could you turn it down a little bit? I'm like, why? I thought you liked the way it felt. He's like, yeah, but at lunchtime I got to go fill up with fuel. And I can make it through the day. I can make it through the day before. I'm like, oh, I guess we'll take that down 25%. Turn it down a little bit. And he's like, man, I can make it right to the end of the day like everybody else now. We're good. Right there. He's like, you can bump her a little bit more, but I got to make sure I get through the full day with my tank of fuel. Otherwise, they start getting upset. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Sounds good, man. Whatever.
I mean, top speed on those things.
Blue gloves. What's good, man? What's good? Yeah, but I mean, it would. But that was the thing with those engines. They would only puff the first little, like they weren't like blowing a. Well, that one in particular, I think it would have had. If it would have been dark out, I think it would have had a cone glow on it, possibly with that much fuel. But I don't know. Yeah. You know, those cool cone glows that we like to see. But I never ran it at night, so nobody. I don't know what you're talking about. I bet you the EGTs were just crazy on that thing. But whatever. I mean, you ask and I can. You know what I mean? I'm here to please. I'm here to please. So. That's kind of the way it works, you know. Def and gas tanks. Welcome, Lee. Yeah, welcome, Lee. Great group of people in here for sure. This is like the bomb on Saturday nights to have fun with. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even tell him I was sending him a link to the live stream that I just sent it. And one of these days, when I'm not feeling too ranty, maybe we'll call it ranty. I don't know if that's the right word. But maybe I should have JC Smith on when I'm on a low rant level. And maybe JC would want to come on here some night too. That'd be cool. I should just start sending him links every week.
Yeah. Hey JC, if you got 15, 20 minutes, whatever, you know.
Oh shit, 2 hours or something. I don't know, whatever. Used to have a couple of trucks and tractors with 855s just plain awesome and reliable. Tech Tool is slow.
It is. It's horrible.
Well, it works on paper. There's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee, feel free. Don't worry about it. I don't I try not to bust everybody's. Well, allegedly, I did. Allegedly. Because everything's allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, whatever. This was back in but this was these were Dash 3s, and this was probably 2005, I'd say 2004 when I was giving her the juice. Nobody cared back then.
Let's see.
Everybody was like, heck yeah, give it to it. At lunch, I have to fuel up. Yeah, he was like, because he couldn't make it through the full day. It was like at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, he was getting so low on fuel that he couldn't get back to the fuel tank. They'd have to run 100 gallons out to him so he could make it through the rest of the day. And I'm like, ooh, I guess somebody must have already juiced that screw. I didn't think so because there's a little ball in the end of it that's like a plastic little ball, and and whatever. It's almost like a really small ping pong ball that you have to pry out of there. Well, everyone that does that or has done that, right? They always end up putting the ball back in because they crush it on the way out. Well, I didn't see any poke, but then when I pulled it out the second time, there was 3 little holes in that ball where somebody else got in there with a seal pick like I did and got it out cleanly. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, somebody's already been into this one. Dang. Somebody's already give her the crank quarter turn. Then I gave her another crank, so now she's half a turn up. It was a bad deal. I'm just glad I got out of that one nicely. But that guy was like, man, she run good. I lift whatever. No worries. On them fuel pumps, you have to change the fuel plate. Not on the ones on the loaders. It was the PT pump. And you just give her a little juice on that one. It was not the P pump, the PT is what it was. Lee Jinks is laughing. A live stream without Kentucky Tech is not swatting at a bug is a rare sight. Crazy. PT pump, shims everywhere, and the famous button. Ranty or triggered, I'm not sure. Chris Hansen's here. Look out.
See, we even brought in the celebrities.
That's because you're showing too much. Well, the trolls.
Hey, I am covered.
I barely. He does. Hey, Chris. It's nice to see you, Chris. I appreciate you being in here, keeping a close eye on what's going on. We don't need any sort of that stuff in here. So I appreciate you showing up. That helps.
What's up, Brian?
Brian Meadows. Hot, wore out, collapsed air compressor discharge line. Ooh. Man.
What was it on? Yeah, Brian.
It was probably the white Volvo Mafia. So I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching some Bonehead Truckers. Have you ever watched that guy on YouTube? It's probably worth your time checking out. There is some hilarious stuff on it sometimes. But yeah.
Let's see. Where are we at in the comments?
Oh no, we're caught right up.
We're caught up. So I have a quick question for you.
Mac, it was a Mack dump truck.
Never worked on Mac.
You're wearing a cap.
Yeah, you'll never see me with that one.
Why?
I don't know.
Glare?
Always wear one.
Glare on the screen or what?
No.
Creates too much glare. Oh yeah. Yeah, fresh cut. I got a fresh cut for those pictures. Look at that. I even combed my hair today, but then I wore a hat for the pictures because it said we could look normal. My wife allowed it. What's your question now? I'm sorry.
Okay, so I talked about it in my video because Antonio brought up that he keeps all his mid-level to upper mid-level tools at work and takes his nice tools home. Like he takes his snap-on sockets home, uses gear wrench at work and on service calls.
Okay.
So what do you want whenever you go out on a service call? Because personally, I take my snap-on sockets on service calls because I want to know that they're good. Because if I bust one, I might be out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, you already know. Sorry, had to throw a little Darian. Darian came popped right into it just like that. Well, you kind of already know what I carry on my service truck, right? Everything that was in my box is on my service truck because I am mobile. I am a mobile mechanic. I do not do nearly anything at the shop. So that big old Epic is sitting there pert near empty.
If you want to send it to Kentucky, I'll keep it safe for you.
Will you keep it safe? Safe and polished?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a box of box cleaner stuff.
When do you want me to bring it down?
What?
When do you want me to bring it down?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. September sound good?
Let's see. Depends on which weekend. Dove season opens in September.
Then it sounds like a perfect weekend.
Well, that's why I asked. Depends on what weekend.
Well, yeah, that would be the weekend I pick.
Okay, there you go.
Then I can at least get paid with a fee for my epic toolbox. I mean, one dove hunt for an epic toolbox.
I'd throw in a box of shells.
Oh man, ammo is free. Dude. Anyway. Let's see here. What's this? Couldn't you turn up PT pump and throttle down and say, oh sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, but throttle down. There you go. That was the next question I was looking at. Like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Saskatchewan offered first. Oh man, I'm in a real pickle. I'm in a real pickle here now.
Yeah.
How do I do that? So you get the hutch and a locker, and he gets the cabinet and a locker. Split it up. That way I can go. I mean, Saskatchewan hunting is probably a little better than dove.
It'll be cold there, though. It'll be cold.
Yeah, it's a business meeting. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be a business meeting for sure. I don't know if I could write that whole toolbox off or not. But yeah. Chris Haynes, wide open, baby. Yeah. But I mean, just in general, Jude. Yeah. I mean, nobody's. I don't think there's any ill intentions to this conversation at all.
Well, no, this isn't a conversation. This isn't even a question where there's a right or wrong. I'm just.
There is no right or wrong. But just so you know, your offer's been countered, and I'm not gonna lie, they do have some big deer up there. And that is a bucket list place. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I'll figure something out.
I wonder if you can get to Saskatchewan via Western Kentucky from Michigan.
The what?
I wonder if you can get to Saskatchewan from Western Kentucky.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. So just take I-57, just come straight down.
I don't even want to think about it right now.
Yeah.
I just want to think about how I'm getting on these hunting trips for an epic. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so I do load my truck with whatever I have. I'm not gonna lie. I have been looking at the Tecton angle wrenches. I've heard good and bad. I got to try them out myself and see what happens. But then again, I don't think. So the sockets, you asked, blah, 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 blah. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes into this thing, and I'm losing my freaking lips.
2 hours? I could here for an hour. What are you talking about?
I know. But anyway, I do believe sockets. You asked specifically about sockets. Yeah. Sockets, I have a love-hate relationship with sockets. So I put on my truck, I took some Snap-on off and I put some Mac on there. It's one of those things where I do believe you want to be able to trust your tools. Okay. And having the trust in your tools is a huge thing for me. Now, if I go down, I've used a bunch of Harbor Freight sockets and they work just fine. Mm-hmm. I have exploded a few. I will say this though, when I go to press something with a socket, I use a Snap-on.
Yeah.
Like if you're using it to press out a bushing or something or in a bushing, I use a Snap-on because I feel like it's more of a true square cut. I believe it's a better quality socket. But do you need that all the time? No, absolutely not. I know there's a lot of guys that would put that up and say, hey man, on my service trucks, I don't want my Snap-on stuff. I want Tecton. I want the not Capri, the Sun-X. I want the Gray Pneumatic, the stuff like that, right? And
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that. I
Of
want the
course.
Mac Expert line.
Yeah.
I want the what the heck's that one that Matco does all the time? The Silver Eagle,
Yeah.
right? I want the Silver Eagles on there. I want the, but at the end of the day, it really is like you said. My toolbox is a very small melting pot. Okay, there's a lot of Snappy, but there also is like John Deere wrenches. I have Harbor Freight sockets. I have Matco. I have some Gray Pneumatic, a couple of them. I didn't get a huge. I already had my sockets bought by the time I got into Gray Pneumatic. Now my swivel sockets, Snap-on all the way. I have not used Max, but back in the day, Max were not. They were too robust for what I liked. Back in the day, we're talking 2001, 2002. Okay,
Yeah.
we're talking 20 years ago. In all reality, when I was looking at sockets, and back then, I believe it's all what it is, But I think that it's a personal preference, and if you feel comfortable taking your Snap-on sockets out there to the service call, by all means, take them. If you feel comfortable with your gear wrench, by all means, take them.
Well,
But at the end of the day, your service call is different than my service call.
Yeah.
Right?
a lot of my
You're
service
going out there.
by the road or at a truck stop.
Yeah, but you're going out there for a patch up job to get it back, right? To a certain extent.
I mean, it's about 50-50. Sometimes it's to get it to the next shop, but a lot of times I'm going out there for a permanent repair, depending on what it is.
Gotcha. And that's what makes it tough with a service truck is you got to either set up for a permanent repair or a patch up. And to try to set your truck up for both is so difficult. So difficult, right?
I could only imagine.
Because you're going out there for a permanent repair. So you take all this extra stuff where, like let's say, for you, you're going to have to take an axle gasket and not just a tube of silicone, right?
Oh, no, I'm taking a tube of silicone.
But I mean, if you're going to patch it up to get to the next truck stop, to the next place where it's going to get repaired, your tube of silicone is going to get you by. If you're going to fix it up permanently, you're going to want to put an axle gasket in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's those things, like, hub oil seals, wheel seals, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing those on the side of the road? Maybe.
Generally, I'm doing those at the DOT weight station.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're doing those, right?
I mean,
Like-
I have done a couple. Yeah.
How do they feel about you laying the piece of plywood down and dumping the 80/90 on it so you can slide the duals off?
So, I don't know how everybody else does it, but after I complete a repair,
I feel like the bus just ran you over.
so after I complete a repair, I go in there, I introduce myself to the nice DOT officers, and I shake their hand, and hey, how you doing today? All that. That way, if they see my company's logo on a truck, they're like, hey, that guy down there is pretty nice. He seems like he takes good care. That truck can go on. So they don't bother me too much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I was just picking on you about the sheet of plywood and the oil on it, so you can slide the duals off quick and get the down and dirty done with a wheel seal, right?
It might have happened once or twice.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get back to some of these comments. We're coming in here. Just steady running state, no control, fuel, flow. I don't think that. It's just Antonio has the equivalent of Wyatt service calls where he can't afford to break when he's alone. Yeah, that might be true too, dude.
Well-
Like I said,
And
I don't know what it is. I just, I will. There's definitely going to be some opportunity there, Diesel dude. I really do want to start planning some trips to go to various places and kind of do some meetup type things where I can hang out for a little bit of time in different places.
Well, my point with it was almost all of the tool trucks versus everything else videos, everybody's talked about sockets.
Yeah.
Kay built it, compared Snap-on and Harbor Freight. Tone talked about his Ulsa tools. And
comparing Snap-on to Harbor Freight.
He did it. It was in the video.
I'm just
If anybody wants to check it out, it's over on Tex Talking Shop. But
that's actually pretty cool. When everybody has their own thing to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But my thing is I went on a service call out in the middle of nowhere. It was a 45-minute drive to the nearest parts store. Nearest place that sold a socket was 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
I mean, and in that case, the squirrel had chewed up some airlines, so the customer was paying for it. They don't want to pay me an hour and a half round trip to go buy 9/16ths. If I throw my 9/16
breaks.
Yeah. They don't want to pay for that. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to pay because somebody brought, a Harbor Freight or insert whatever brand and it broke. And quite honestly, I don't want to drive an hour and a half to go buy a new socket either, So I take my Snap-ons with me, and then if they break, I figure anything would have broke.
Yeah. Here's another question. What electric power tools? Chandler Haynes. My personal 14.4 Snap-on. I do not have the 12-volt Milwaukee yet. But I want to try some of that out. I have the 1/2-inch 18-volt Milwaukee, and I love it. All of you people that busted my chops and saying you have to try it, you were right. I'm not going to say this often, nor am I going to admit to saying this, and this live stream will probably be taken down because I'm saying this, but you all were right.
Yeah.
I love that 18-volt Milwaukee. It's phenomenal. I mean, in all reality, it's phenomenal. Kentucky Tech's got a little different take on it, though. What do you got?
So I have M18, I have M12, I have the Snap-on 14.4, I have Makita, and I have AC Delco. I bought an AC Delco ratchet off Amazon. I bought the kit with one battery and a charger for $100. And it lacks a lot of the creature comforts of the Snap-on. Like, you don't think about the light staying on for a couple seconds after you let off the trigger. You don't think about that until you don't have it.
Gotcha.
The electric brake or whatever with the Snap-on, that is a really nice feature. I mean, it just doesn't have a lot of that stuff, but I mean, for $100, if it'll last me 2 years. How long did your last long neck ratchet last you?
2 years.
Because you just bought a second one, didn't you?
Yeah. 2 years.
2 years. So if my $100 one will last 2 years, I've saved.
Winning.
What?
You're winning.
Well, maybe, and if it only lasts a year, I'm still
winning.
Yeah.
The bare tool's $250.
Yeah. But I mean, instead of a button, I have the Milwaukee style paddle. I mean, there's.
How do you like the paddle?
What?
How do you like that paddle?
I mean, they're not bad. I know everybody gets tore up on YouTube about the Milwaukee paddle, but Air Tools have had that paddle since forever.
Yeah.
And I know the button's nice. I like the button, but it's not that big of a deal.
Diesel dude has access to planes.
So he's gonna go pick you and the Epic up and fly you. I'm surrounded by fields, so September they'll be getting a lot of this crop off. So
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll just come up
Need
there
to
and pick you
maintain
up.
RPM.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I know. You are definitely the BA Baracus of the show tonight with your beard, and you just need some necklaces.
I feel like I'm face.
No.
In this group, I'm face. Come on.
No.
Oh, I tried.
You are not face. No. You're more of a Murdoch than a face.
That's still.
But if Diesel dude, Kentucky, he's the Murdoch because he's got access to a plane, or maybe he's face because he's getting the access to the plane. He's not the pilot. I swear to God, if AgTech 45 shows up in a plane at my house, I'm not flying. They're going to have to give me a cheeseburger with whatever they gave to BA on that deal because I'm not flying with AgTech.
You walk out in your backyard and AgTech swinging around off the rotors on a helicopter.
Like, I'm here to pick you up. We're good. Straight jacket in the co-pilot seat, no big deal. I'm sorry, AgTech. There's no ill intentions to that. Tools
it doesn't
and
matter if there was ill intentions. That was funny.
Yeah. No different. Yeah, what your favorite color is. That's the truth. No. I mean, it's there's not many great deals. I bought some stuff from this company that's on my hat recently. Always, yeah. Every tool's on you always, right? AgTech. Obviously the solution is to patch up in permanent service truck and pick between at the heavy wrench. Yeah. Got a great relationship with the scale house.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Phil, the heavy wrench. Any problems? Give me a call. Thanks. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's
creative a lot. Absolutely. Creativity. If you're not a MacGyver in a field truck, you're not going places. I mean, you have to be able to think outside the box. That's for sure. If you want to get somebody rolling, I don't use silicone.
Okay. I'll be honest. I don't use silicone either. I use anaerobic.
Yeah. I've slowly started changing over to anaerobic more and more. It seems to work great. 2+ sets of any brand of sockets can get lost. Yeah, totally. You of all people, Phil, will probably like the 1-inch pistol. Oh yeah, pistol grip Milwaukee. I think I will. Eventually. I carry John Deere, Harbor, and cheaper tools because I have a habit of losing a wrench. I have a 10 mil wrench floating around on a Hoagie sprayer hood. Yeah, Rudy, when I started buying Snap-on wrenches, I stopped throwing them.
I don't know. I sent a Matco ratchet across the shop one time.
Matco ratchets are they're like a bad boomerang. They always come back and smack you in the face. It keeps the paychecks coming. Yep, Thomas, that's true.
That's true.
Agree with Kentucky Tech on the paddle. No idea what it could be. Yeah, no idea what that rattling noise it could be. Sunex angle wrenches are nice too. Sunex sockets and wrenches. Yep. Holy cow! Nuts and bolts with tone.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing Tone's reviews down the road on those Ulsa sockets.
Yeah,
I might.
He just got home. It's 11:30 at night, and he just got home.
Well, he's 3 hours behind you.
I know. I'm just messing.
I mean, where has he been? I mean,
I don't know. Where hasn't he been? Xfel, in the end, Phil will come for the big bucks over some silly burgers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Only RTV I still use is the Rigid Ultimate Gray. I also like the Power Sport version RTV. It works a lot better. Silicones for the birds. Yes. Now Komatsu makes a LG6, they call it, and it is a phenomenal gray silicone. Phenomenal. But it's like $70 a tube.
Whoa.
But it's awesome. It's the best silicone you'll ever use. You can put that stuff on a O-ring that's pouring oil out, and it will literally seal back up.
Wow.
Like, you know, the MacGyver situation.
Yeah.
When you got to reuse that O-ring that's really, really crappy.
Mm-hmm.
That LG, I think it's LG6 or LG7. They have one that's orange and one that's gray. The gray one I like better. The orange one is thicker. So if that oil's pouring out and your O-ring's really, really shot, you can kind of get by with thicker stuff in there. But if it's low pressure O-ring, I should say, like a final drive on a excavator case seal, right?
Yeah.
If you have to reuse that O-ring on the outer cover,
Yeah.
take a little of that LG6, put it in your hand and wipe the O-ring through it, put it on, and then it seals nice. And then when you pop it off, it is only on the O-ring, not on the whole flange. So you're not creating any space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it just takes up that little bit.
I mean,
But, you know, planetaries are always leaking oil. You can't get them to not leak oil out the bottom. There's always something.
if there isn't oil on them, there ain't no oil in them.
Yeah. Manufacturers sealant for every job.
I mean,
And that's the nice part about working in a shop.
Yeah.
Is you can order that with your parts, right? To a certain extent. When you're out on the road, you have what you have. And sometimes that's all you have. Whatever you think you might purchase before.
Yeah.
And that's tough. Graymatic looks awesome. Value for sockets, but I haven't used good.
The Duo sockets are great.
Duo?
Yeah. They're impact sockets, but they're as thin as chrome.
Okay.
I mean, I really like them.
I mean, silicone versus a toe.
I did put in a 1/2 inch down to 3/8 adapter on one and run my Milwaukee high torque on one.
How'd it run? It lasted?
I mean, the socket's still in the.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. We're all pretty much a torture test channel in our own way, shape, or form or something. Like my wrench holder, right?
I think it's funny that as the equipment gets bigger, you know, somebody is like, yeah, I've tortured these sockets. And we're like, okay. But then again, we're taking 1/2 inch drive sockets and putting an adapter on them and putting a 3/4 inch impact. That 24 millimeter ain't going to last long.
No. I mean, but now your 1/2 inch Milwaukee is putting out what that 3/4 does.
Hey,
So,
I used a 1 inch Ingersoll Rand. The thing is only rated for like 1,200 foot-pounds of torque, so less than my Milwaukee.
yeah.
It barely hammered pulling a pinion or the yoke off the differential on a semi. Normally with a 3/4, you're hammering for 30 to 45 seconds before it starts to move. Then
Yeah.
it hammers all the way off. That 1 inch Ingersoll hammered like 3 or 4 times and then just spun it right off. And it's rated at less than most 3/4 impacts.
Yeah. It's all about the weight and the size of the hammers, right?
Yeah. That 3/4 drive, 2 1/4 gray pneumatic. I'm not sure how long it would last, but it held up for that.
1/2 to 1/4. Yep. Like I've had like my 4-to-1 multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
three quarter sockets. Well, sometimes you don't always have the right size, and you go down to a 1/2 inch adapter, and then the input's 1 inch. So now you have a 1 inch ratchet going down to a 1/2 inch at 4-to-1. The only thing that breaks is your adapter. I'm not gonna lie. I have 4 of them.
I mean,
I have 4 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapters on my truck at all times because sometimes you get in that situation where you got a hammer on it with a 3/4 and you don't have the right socket. I lack in deep well, smaller size deep wells. That's where I lack in my socket game.
yeah.
Is like 3/4 deep well, metric standard, doesn't matter. I have all the shallow wells, and then I started the deep well up at 1.5 to 2 inch, I think, is where I went to deep well. But that's kind of where I went. It's all good. Yeah, I wonder what's going to break. I bet you the adapter breaks at the 1/4 inch level. The socket will prevail.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to say the weak spot in that whole equation is the bolt.
Oh, you think the bolt's going to break?
Yeah. I think the bolt will break first because, I mean, let's see, 10 millimeter.
M6.
So you got a tiny cross section on that bolt. The actual bolt where the threads are, that cross section is tiny.
Well, I want a full video on this. Instagram or whatever. YouTube, Instagram, doesn't matter. I need a full video on this, and we will see what happens. 1-inch Milwaukee, reduce it down to a 1/4 inch, 10 millimeter, and see what breaks.
I think it'll just twist the head off the bolt.
It might. Or use chrome on an X, but yeah, because that's all it'll fit. I have less than 0. I have -1 F's to give about an impact on a chrome. I don't care. If it fits, it ships. If it's what you got to do to make it ship, it's all good. Bolt will go. Have to use what you got. No, Tone says the adapter will break.
Oh no, I've
The bolt.
I've
I'll do a
snapped-
TikTok video on. Come on, man, TikTok. Now I gotta get TikTok.
Well, I'll say
Just send me the link to it because I don't want to get TikTok because I hear it's a heck of a rabbit hole
it can be.
and I don't want to do that. So I'm debating on this Friday going to a tractor pull to see how those brakes work. And then there's another tractor pull on Saturday in Wauseon, Ohio, which is by Toledo. If it was a little deeper south, I'd do a little meetup down there. But Wauseon, Ohio is on Saturday. But Friday, it's up in the middle of Michigan. We'll see. I might make it out to that one and take some video of that tractor ripping down the track. See what it does. So that'll be fun for this weekend, maybe. Have a good one, man. Be safe.
So if you go to the tractor pull for the tractor you just worked on, can you write off your ticket price as quality control?
I don't know.
I feel like this is something that needs to happen.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, quality control, checking your work. I mean,
You think I could bill them?
I mean, if you go down into the pits, it could be a business meeting. I mean,
You think I could bill them?
if you go down to the pits and like pull a drain plug on a planetary or something and just check the oil level, I'm sure you could. Be like, okay, here's your bill. I need I need a hot dog. I need some popcorn. Man,
Right on, man. I will. If I gotta see what the week shakes out like, but if I head down to Wuxian, I will let you know for sure. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Good night, Tone. Hang out with the wife. Make it happen, buddy. Yeah, I'll let you know, man. If I do head down there on Saturday, that would be Saturday. It would be that one. I don't know what time it is. Those guys are going to be up in the middle of Michigan, heading down to Toledo the next day. I'm sure I'll be. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know what I'll have time for, but I would like to do that. Possibly, I'm going to drop that video this week coming up. 100% advertisement.
There you go.
So
Just drive the service truck. You don't want to ride in it, or you don't want to pay for the fuel?
I don't care about the fuel. I just want to be able to do like 100 on the way there. There's actually another guy that I could ride with to the pool on Friday night. It starts at 7, so I'd have to leave here. I don't know yet what time. You know what I mean? It all depends on how the work week goes. I got a lot of work to do. I got some have to do's going on right now. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. But yeah, if I head down to Wuxi, Toledo's not that far away. It's only a couple hours. The other one's the Friday night pull is probably close to 3 hours away, which is probably what Toledo is too, or Wuxian is for me. But do I want to drive on a Friday night after I get done working, or do I want to drive on a Saturday? That's what I got to figure out. So, but it would be cool to meet up with you, man. Down there, that might be a fun place to go meet up and hang out. But I know that this year in February there might be a trip in my future down to Louisville. Okay. How far away from Louisville are you?
Like 4 hours.
4 hours. Ooh.
So, I mean, let's see. That's probably what, 10, 12 hours for you? Something like that?
It's about 9.
9. So you'd be doing most of the legwork there.
I would. Yeah. I think it's about 9. I don't know. It's crazy because we're just shooting the crap right now.
Later, Ag Tech.
Later, Ag Tech. I need to head out too, gentlemen. It's been almost 3 hours on here. You've made me somehow go an hour longer than I normally do. So, anyway, thanks for coming in. Farm Machinery Show is exactly what I'm talking about there, Chandler. That would be I should try to see if I get a booth. The Heavy Wrenches booth at the Farm Machinery Show. It'd be one chair sitting down. I'll just have a little sign. I'll get a sign and set it up and be like, the Heavy Wrench. And they're like, what are you doing? Promoting my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But
if you're smart, you'll just set a chair next to the entrance for the bathrooms, because at some point, that's going to be one of the highest.
No, at the Farm Machinery Show, you put it next to the food line.
Man, I almost made it to the Farm Machinery Show one time whenever I was in school down there in Nashville.
Yeah.
They gave us the day off from school and got us tickets and everything, like passes and shit.
Yeah.
And so me and my buddy were like, I'll give you like $40 for gas or $30 for gas or whatever. And halfway there, the transmission on his car went out.
Horrible.
Yeah. We ended up in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. He had a little Nissan Altima with the...
Is that everywhere Kentucky, or is that...
Hey. we got the farm machinery show. So, there's something here. But we ended up nowhere. It was the CVT or whatever transmission.
Yeah.
It went out on us. And I was just, there were a couple of our buddies were headed back from the show and picked us up this random ass Nissan dealership.
That's crazy.
And I just haven't made it there since.
Let's run off this. You guys have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your weekend. And get some good work done next week. I'm going to try to. We'll see. Be safe, everybody.